Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Wondering Wednesday today, and today we are exploring the best places to snorkel in Key West. Did you know that this area is home to the only living coral reef system in the continental United States? Yep. And whether you're dreaming of colorful corals, curious sea turtles, or just a great snorkel adventure close to shore, I've got you covered today. Trust me, I've got you covered. I'm Michele with FunInKeyWest, and I'm so glad you're here. Every Wednesday, we wander around the Keys, or I answer questions that you are wondering about. And so today, people were asking, one of the questions I wanted to answer today was, where do I snorkel? Because I want to go explore the waters around Key West. And why is Key West one of the best places to come snorkeling in the continental United States? Well, I'll tell you. You get the best of both worlds, right? We get to see not only amazing underwater marine life and the corals and all of that, and all of those clear waters, but Key West offers vibrant on-land activities, cultural activities. It has it all, right? Right. So why? I'm going to just say it. I don't think it's accurate. I don't know if you can actually Google and confirm it, but I am going to say that Key West is the snorkeling capital of the Keys. I said it. I know. There's other places in the Keys that are going to go, no, it's me. But let's just explore this idea. In Key West, you have the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. And Key West sits within that sanctuary. And that sanctuary protects the third largest barrier reef in the world and the only living coral reef in North America. Did you know there's over 6,000 species of marine life that call these waters around Key West home? You have tropical fish, stingrays, Goliath groupers, sea turtles, and so much more. The other thing that makes Key West one of the best places to snorkel, and I'm going to say the capital of the Keys, is you don't need a passport. Most places, it's not a long flight into Key West. You just head to Florida's southernmost point, and there you are. You have the calm waters that surround the Keys. They're warm most of the time year-round, and so it makes a very fun snorkel adventure playground. Make sure when you come down to the Keys that you use reef-safe sunscreen. If you can't find it where you live, don't worry about it. When you come down to the Keys, and especially in Key West, you're going to find it everywhere because that's the kind of sunscreen you need to use in the waters around the Keys. Some of the other sunscreens that aren't reef-safe, they put chemicals in the water that hurt the coral. So you want to make sure that we are protecting that third largest barrier reef, right? So we want to also make sure when you're out snorkeling and having all those underwater adventures that you look, but don't touch. You don't want to touch and interfere with the marine life. You don't want to touch the reefs or the corals. These are living, breathing creatures, and you just don't want to do that. So then comes up the question is, how in the world am I going to be able to go snorkeling in Key West? I don't even know where to start. Well, that's why you tuned in today, right? I say you take a snorkeling tour. If you head over to FunInKeyWest.com, check out under what to do, there are tours there. And you can book directly there, and there's no extra expense for you on that. But those are the tours that we really like to work with. Those are the tour operators we know that are going to give you a wonderful experience. But you're going to choose a guide, and you're going to go out with a guide because they're going to provide you the best places to go. They're going to be experts on what's in the water during that time, and they're going to know where you are going to have the best experience. They're going to give you a safety briefing. And usually you get to explore multiple locations on any given day. We love Fury. If you head over to Fury, they do a lot of things. They have the catamaran that they'll come out in. And if you go out on the catamaran, you've got a shaded seating. You've got a fresh water rinse. You get all that salt off of you. You have onboard restrooms. They provide that sunscreen for the reef safe requirements. They give you complimentary beverages, especially on the Reef and Rita's tour. You can go out on others where you see dolphins and snorkel. So you can pick your adventure through Fury, and I think they do a lot of really cool things. Some of the places you'll explore with them include Sand Key, Rock Key, Eastern Dry Rocks, and maybe even Sand Key Lighthouse Reef, sometimes depending on the weather and the time of year. And again, what are you going to see? You're going to see all those tropical fish, sea turtles probably, sea stingrays, some crustaceans, and maybe even a dolphin pod, which would be really cool. Some other ones that you can experience, we like if you want more of a personal, private escape, check out Make It So Charters. Captain Howie and his team will take you out on a private boat. You can have there's a limited number of people that you can bring with you because of the size of the boat. But they'll take you out and they'll let you explore and it's more of a customized experience. So you can maybe go to a sandbar and sit on all that. So be sure to check out Fury, be sure to check out Make It So Charters, and check out some of the others that we have over there with the other tour operators. But let's say you're saying, Michele, I really don't want to go out on a boat. I don't want to go out that far. I just want to be able to walk in. I want to go shore snorkeling. I want to be able to walk in and explore the waters around Key West without actually having to get on a boat. You can do that. There's a couple of locations that you can check out. You can go to Higgs Beach. There's a shore snorkeling there. There's shallow water. It's about 6 feet deep, maybe, depending on the tides. You're going to probably spot some conch in the seagrass beds and maybe some angelfish and some small reef fish. It's not spectacular. Watch the weather because that can churn up the water a little bit and you'll know whether or not it's going to be clear enough for you to see anything. This is a great location if you are a beginner or you've got family members with you that are smaller people. That's a great place to start off. It's one of those try snorkeling here first spots. They do have rentals over there, and so you can check that out. Another place to check out is Fort Zachary Taylor Historic State Park. You are going to pay, now Higgs Beach is free. At Fort Zach, you are going to pay an entrance fee, but it lets you come in and out all day. And pro tip, this is a great location for sunsets. Come back, bring a picnic or something and enjoy sunset there. But this is at the southern end of the park. You can walk out. The beach and the area into the water is a little rocky. So if you have the ability to bring your swim shoes, bring those. If not, try to pick some up in town because it can be a little rocky there. You're probably going to see parrotfish and maybe some sea sponges and yellow snapper and all of that. When you're not snorkeling, you can check out the fort. It's a Civil War history fort, and you can get the perspective of how the island was protected and how the troops were there and all of that. But it's a really great place that you can just snorkel. They do have gear rentals again. I would highly recommend those water shoes. There are other places that you can head out to, but those are two great locations to go out onto. Smathers Beach can be shallow, but it can also be churned up. Sometimes you get a lot of the seagrass that comes in. So just be aware of what the water looks like. But now you're saying, Michele, I want to go beyond Key West. I want to go wander around and see what else I can see. One of the best places to snorkel, crystal clear water, and you will not believe all of the things that you can see, is the Dry Tortugas National Park. Now, this is a national park, and what's really cool about this is it's in the middle of the ocean, and it's in the Gulf. So it's about 70 miles west of Key West. So the only way to get there is either ferry or seaplane or a private charter. What you're going to end up doing is if you take the Yankee Freedom, this is such a high demand tour and a place to go that Yankee Freedom is going to book up well in advance. So if this is on your bucket list, go ahead and pre-book it before you come to Key West. That way you make sure you are going to get there. But they offer amazing snorkel adventures around the fort and around the island. It is crystal clear water. You're going to see amazing things. It'll blow your mind. and plan it. It's a day trip. You're going to leave early in the morning. You've got a full ferry there. If you take the ferry over, you have restrooms. You're going to be able to have lunch, and then you're usually back around sunset-ish. But there's a free tour of the fort. Take the tour. I'm telling you, if history is your thing, take the tour. If you just want to sit on the beach and snorkel all day, do that. I mean, do what you want to do, but definitely put that on your list. 8 miles southwest of Bay of Honda, you can take a boat tour over to Looe Key. That's a day trip option. It's a little bit longer, so be sure to look out for some of those options as well. Now, there are some discussions on, is the lower keys better than the middle keys or the upper keys to snorkel? You know what? As far as I'm concerned, if you are in the Florida Keys, you are in the best place to snorkel. But in the upper keys, I'm going to have to acknowledge that in Key Largo, you have John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. And in the Middle Keys, you have Sombrero Reef and Alligator Reef. But we're going to focus basically on the lower keys in Key West. But there are places up if you are going to do a trip that encompasses all of the keys and you're on a snorkeling adventure, be sure to add these to your list. Preparing for your snorkeling trip. If you're going out, again, like I said before, if you're going out on a guided trip, probably not going to need to bring gear because they're going to have gear. But verify with each of your operators what's included in your tour. We want to make sure, again, I'm going to emphasize this, we want to protect the coral. Reef safe sunscreen. A lot of the charters and a lot of the guides have that on hand. Bring a snorkel mask, floaties. If you have your own, like I said, most tours provide them. Water shoes or fins, or because of the rocky shore that you might experience. A waterproof camera or a phone case that allows your phone to become waterproof with a floating strap, because you're going to want to take pictures and you're going to want to share these experiences with everybody when you get home. Towels, a dry bag for your belongings. Make sure you bring your IDs if you come onto a guided tour, because they're going to check your IDs. Make sure you have a cash or a credit card on you or some way to pay for things. And I'm stressing that you bring cash because I want you to tip your tour operators. This is their livelihood, and make sure that you tip them well. I'm going to say it's probably best time to snorkel in Key West is anytime you're in Key West, but watch the weather. If a storm is coming in, it's going to churn up those waters and it's not going to be as clear and you're not going to see as much. So make sure you're watching the weather and all of that. In the wintertime, you're probably going to want to go out later so the water's a little bit warmer. In the summertime, you're going to want to go out earlier so the water's a little cooler. So, you're going to adjust it. But again, year round, you can snorkel in Key West. If you're a beginner or you've got small children with you, beach snorkeling like over at Higgs and in the beaches at Fort Zach, those are probably going to be your best bet. If you're a beginner, best bet. Those are ideal. You can talk to the rental people as you get the gear and they'll give you some safety tips. Make sure that you look at those minimum age requirements for the tour operators, for kids, because nothing would be worse than you show up and the kid is not old enough. And those kids are going to have to wear life jackets when they're out on the boats. And I'm going to emphasize this, never snorkel alone. Always go with the buddy system because you just never know. It's always better to have a buddy. Plus, who wants to snorkel alone? Bring your friends, bring your family. Go do all that. If you are not able to get in the water because you can't swim or you don't want to get in the water for whatever reason, let's say you're a non-swimmer, you're a little bit older and maybe you've hurt yourself or you're just not feeling physically fit to be able to go in the water, or you just want a curious glimpse of the underwater world, check out a glass bottom boat tour. Again, over at our website, FunInKeyWest.com, under what to do, there are links to glass bottom boat tours. Great way to see what's going on under the water without actually being in the water. Of course, you can also do a kayak eco tour. Love these. You go through the mangroves and the water is just crystal clear and you're looking down and you get to see a lot of things. Is it the same thing as being in the water? No, but it's a really cool perspective. So if you don't want to get in the water, be sure to check out a kayak eco tour. You have Lazy Dog and you have a couple other places to check out. If you also want to experience kind of some ideas of what you might see before you go in the water or after you've snorkeled, you want to go see again what you saw, check out the Key West Aquarium. It has touch tanks and everything in there that you can experience some of that marine life that you saw or will see. The Florida Keys Eco Discovery Center over in Truman Annex, that is a great place. It gives you a glimpse of all of the opportunities and all of the wonderful things that you can experience underwater around the Keys. And bonus, it's free. Yep, air conditioned and free. So if you're looking for a place just to wander around and you don't want to spend any money, that is your bonus tip of the day. So as we wrap up, let's look at some of those common questions and those like, hey, Michele, I still don't know about, let's answer those right quick. When is the best time to snorkel in Key West? Anytime, year round. Summer, you're going to have calm seas, but watch out for weather because from June until November, you are in hurricane season. So watch for the weather, but you can see everything and anything usually there. What am I going to see when I go snorkeling? You're going to see tropical fish, sea turtles, stingrays, eels, crustaceans, maybe some sponges, and maybe even dolphins or nurse sharks. You never know. It's amazing what you might see. Is snorkeling in Key West kid-friendly? You bet. You bet it is. Beach spots are great for those beginners and those small ones. And boat tours often accommodate families, especially make it so charters and all those. What do I need to bring? Reef safe sunscreen if it's not being provided by your tour operator, and your snorkel gear unless it's being provided by your tour operator. Is snorkeling safe? Yeah, I think it is. It's generally safe. Follow your safety, use your buddy system, follow the safety rules and the safety prep that they give you, and just be aware of your surrounding and what you're doing, and don't go into the water impaired. Don't do that. But generally, snorkeling is safe. Is there any other way to see the reef without getting in the water? Yep, glass bottom boats. We talked about that, and you can check those out. Again, on the environmental considerations, don't touch the coral. Don't play with the marine life. Just observe. This is just an amazing place to observe. You can find out a lot more information, plus book a tour or figure out what's included in these tours by checking out all of that information at FunInKeyWest.com under what to do, and check out our tour operator section. I am Michele with Fun in Key West. I gave you a very brief overview of the best snorkeling in Key West. And of course, there's a lot more information over on our website. Plus, you can sign up for our free happy hour guide and sign up for our book club. Check out the tab at the top called Book Club. That'll give you an idea of the books that we have read and what we're reading right now. I am Michele. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. And you guys have a great Wednesday. And I want to hear all about your snorkeling adventures. What was your best place that you found to snorkel in Key West? What was your best adventure? And I also want to hear about your funny stories. What did you see? Did something scare you? Did you just have a blast on the boat? Did you meet the best people? I want to hear all the stories. Let me know. Talk to you later.